Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sly Cooper Wiki. I'm your usual host, Trev, a bureaucrat of the wiki, and today we are here with an unboxing of all three Sly Cooper video games. But it's not the PlayStation 2 unboxings, which if you haven't already seen, there is a link in the description down below. What we're actually here to unbox today is the PlayStation 3 remaster, the Sly Collection. So for those of you who don't know, the Sly Collection was a PlayStation 3 remastering of the original PlayStation 2 games, and this release I have right here, the physical North American version, released on November 9th, 2010. This game also released later on the PlayStation Store worldwide on November 29th, 2011, so almost a year later, and the Sly Collection even got a Vita release in the form of the Sly Cooper Collection, and that released in North America on April 16th, 2014. But we're going to save that version for a later video. What we have right now is the PlayStation 3 physical release, and at first glance there's a few things to take note of, but really nothing too exciting. The front cover has a fair amount of info on it, mainly for advertising purposes, but it's also fairly informative for the consumer. For one thing, we have its tagline, remastered in high definition, as that was the main selling point of this game at the time. It also has a PlayStation Move compatible header, indicating that you can use the PlayStation Move controller with this, though that's only limited to mini-games that were exclusive to the PlayStation 3 version. Additionally, there is a billboard featuring the cover art of all three original games releases. Note that the art used for Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus was the original Black Label version, which we have right here. If you haven't seen our unboxing of Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, there is a different box art of this with the Greatest Hits banner. Otherwise, there's not too much else to say about this. This does have the PlayStation Network logo, as well as 3D capabilities, so if you did have a 3D TV, this game would be able to be run on that 3D TV in 3D, going along with Sly 3's original release back in the 3D era. And it has a blanket rating from the ESRB of E to E10, that is everyone to everyone 10 and up. This sort of accommodates for the various ESRB ratings over the trilogy. You'll recall that Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus and Sly 2 were both rated E for everyone, while Sly 3 got an E10 rating, as it was released closer to the inception of that rating by the ESRB. Moving to the spine, we don't really see much to say here. It still has that PlayStation Move banner right there, as well as the title of the game, and it has a Region 1 sort of logo right there, indicating that this is a North American release, though as far as I can recall, PlayStation 3s aren't really region locked, so this can be used on other PlayStation 3 systems. Additionally, the disc ID for this particular game is BCUS 98246. Flipping to the back, we see just a lot of info really detailing about who Sly is and what this remaster sort of encompasses. And one thing I noticed right off the bat was the fonts in these boxes right here are actually identical to the fonts used on the back of the Sly 2 box. So you can see in this comparison that the fonts are the exact same, though do note that the descriptions in those boxes are not. The descriptions in the Sly Collection are more really about what the game is, such as dodge guards, spotlights, alarms, and even infrared lasers, infiltrate the most secure places in the world, and battle on the ground or in the air on your quest for the greatest heist ever. And the screenshots featured here are, on the right we have a screenshot from episode 3 of Sly 2, that's the Indian jungle. On the left we have the ever so famous Lemon Rage job back in episode 2 of Sly 3 in the Australian outback. And then on the bottom right we have a screenshot from the Aces semifinals from Sly 3 episode 3 in Holland. Additionally, we also have a notice, as I mentioned before, of all new PlayStation Move minigames. Personally, I didn't really enjoy them too much besides a free trophy, but that's just me. And we also have Sanzaru Games and Sucker Punch Productions logos on this. You might recall that Sanzaru pitched this idea to Sony and they got the go-ahead to make this, and they worked with Sucker Punch to bring this game to the PlayStation 3. Other than that, there's really not much else to say about this, so let's get into the box. Opening the box, and we're greeted with a manual as well as a disc. To the disappointment of some, this isn't a Thievius Raccoonus, it is just a normal sort of run-of-the-mill manual, but it's a manual nonetheless, because as you'll probably see in our future videos, these are quite the rare commodity to come by. The manual itself is fairly self-explanatory. It goes through all 3 games and the controls of each character in each game. It's informative and it really doesn't have much else to add to the existing Sly Cooper canon. The disc itself matches the front cover art, as we can see here. It's pretty much identical aside from the billboards, and we also notice that there is a Sly running along that PlayStation 3 disc banner, and that running of Sly is actually identical to Sly running in the moonlight in that Sly 2 front cover. So that's a little interesting to see and kinda neat. Other than that, the disc is really what you'd expect. It's a disc, it has the game on it. There's not much else really out of the ordinary with that. Finally, we can take a quick look at the inside cover art, as the PlayStation 3 case is transparent, and we just have a Sly Cooper insignia in true Sly Cooper fashion. And that's about it for the Sly Collection unboxing. I unfortunately do not have a Blu-ray drive to read the contents of the disc, but hopefully we'll be able to get a screenshot of those contents very soon. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button. If you haven't seen our previous unboxings, I highly recommend it. There is a playlist in the description down below, and there's also high quality scans of the jacket, the manual, and the disc also in the description down below if you do want to get a closer look at any of these things for yourself. As always, if you have any suggestions for what we should look at next, please do feel free to submit those in the comments down below. I read each and every one of those comments, and I do try to consider your suggestions. As always, this has been Trev from the Sly Cooper Wiki, your #1 resource for anything and everything Sly Cooper. See you in the next video. Oh. What the heck? Alright, hold up. I never read these. I should read these. Are these the same font? They are! That's cool, I guess. I don't know. It's a manual. It's fun to read when you're in the bathroom or kind of bored. So, there's that for you.